Okay, so take a deep breath and off we go.
All right. Are we ready? We rolling? Take another deep breath.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Shannon Washington, writer and director of Red Flags. I'm here with the star of the show, Choko. Red Flags is about a young lady who falls in love with Choko, and everything's great. She ignores all the red flags as women often do, and later finds out that she's married to a serial killer.
Yeah, so crazy because, people are typically used to me being a comedian. So with this role, obviously I'm a serial killer and no games. I'm not laughing. I'm serious the whole time. So it's actually pretty cool to step out and do something different. Typically what I like to do is just do something that's to grow, to expand, as an artist, as a creator. Like I love jumping into different things. Everybody on the cast was very talented. Shannon, talented, able to genius, can write a movie just by blinking. And he called me and he said, "Man, I have this idea. I'm gonna call it Red Flags." And I was like, "All right, let me know when you're done." Like literally 3 days, 4 days, I got the script. We're ready to shoot it. And I'm like, wow. So, living in Houston, I'm all about supporting everyone in the community out here. So, someone calls me about something, if I'm available, I'm always down to create. So, definitely was enjoyed being in this movie for sure.
Exactly. One thing I want y'all to know about Choko, I know obviously I know him as a comedian, but it's important for you guys to know that he put a lot of time in, because naturally we joke and we play all the time like we funny. It was never a serious, although the movie was serious, it was never a serious moment behind the scenes. But I will say I would pull up to set and Choko would be in his car. He would be getting into his character because obviously his character is in certain ways different from what Instagram. I don't know if they're, obviously he's not a serial killer, but he is. If you know him personally, he's not as goofy. He's more laid back than you would think from watching his videos. So I think that there was some similarities in him and his character, but I think that he put a lot of effort in trying to make the role himself, right? So I think he put a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort in to bringing out his character Max, and I think I know he did a great job, and I can't wait to see what you guys think of his performance in the movie.
So let's jump in with the next question.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit more about your writing this. Like Choko just said, you wrote it in 3 days.
Yeah. How
was that process for you? How do you write your films?
My method, I guess, is, so the hardest part for me is focusing on one film, right? I think I'm definitely severely probably ADHD, so I have like 10 movies running through my brain at one time. So I think the hardest part is I like committing to writing one film. Once I say, okay, I'm gonna do this, then it comes out like you know what I mean, pretty fast. When I called him, I think he came. It was at the house at first, and I was like, man, we need to do a film. I got an idea of Red Flags. He came home, and a couple of days later, so I hey, I'm ready to shoot it. Let's do it. We kind of talked about the plot. We both thought it was a good idea, and then we jumped on it. I think once you have the characters, or you have the plot, the characters, I think everything else it flows. Just like life. Like once you're born, you're gonna do what your experiences create, right? So I think it's just about building strong characters, and then making I guess life happen to those characters, and then they react the way that those characters would naturally react, based on what you built for them. So I think it's fairly easy once you understand each character, if that makes sense.
Choko, for you, is this one of your first really dramatic roles?
Yeah, I mean, I've done some serious content before, but long length featured film, right? Feature film.
Yeah, feature.
hour-long type content. This is my first time actually doing something like this, and I plan this whole year to do a lot of movies this year. Like things are already in the process, and like Shannon says, like by heart in real life, I'm actually a serious person. Like people see me on social media and always see me dancing around, being goofy. I'm always clowning, but in real life, like I'm very chill, very mild mannered. Don't do a lot of dancing in real life. It's just I love to create, but once the camera's off, I'm all about relaxing, just chilling. And I did enjoy playing this role because it's to me it's just funny, and I can already keep a serious face, so it really wasn't that hard to just to express a straight face and anger to kill a couple of females.
Yeah, it's a lot of that.
Yeah, but it was a cool film. It definitely was cool to play this role, and I'm definitely will be playing some more roles similar to this.
Shannon, as you were directing Choko, what was one of your favorite funny stories within this film? Do you have anything that stuck out as like, this is just extra stupid?
I mean, I think that as he spoke, I don't know if he was the first take, but as he said, the actors, including him, were great in the film. So I think a huge. It was never really moments that I felt like this is stupid because it seemed so real. I think the scenes felt real. I think one of the funny part is we was doing the take at the in the woods,
Yeah.
and we forgot the murder weapon, or at least the what he was gonna hit him in the head with. So we was searching around. One of the scenes he was running, he didn't have what he was supposed to hit her with. So I mean, that was funny, just because we had to like use like pliers or something like that that came out. So it was little things like that. I felt like that was just offset funny, not necessarily like seeing him do it, because I think he did a good job at making it real. When we was shooting, it was more so than it was funny. It was more so like, wow, look at this shot. This shot looks it looks crazy, because he did a real good job of showing his emotions, whether it be subtle or or bold. I think that he brought the character to life. So it wasn't really a funny shooting it. We would laugh about certain things offset though that had something to do with some of the things that happened. But as far as like watching or directing the role, it was pretty serious. Yeah.
And how long did it take you guys to film this?
Oh, I think 8 days. 8 days.
8 days, yeah.
8 days, yeah. Sure.
Wait, long days?
Nah, a couple. It was a few long days. I think we shot some scenes that the first thing we shot was like some of his abduction scenes, and that was like probably like a half. No, I think it's the first half day, and then we shot a second scene where it was just like pickup shots, where montages, and then we had some days that went long. But it's for what we did and the amount of time that we did, it was pretty amazing, because normally you shoot 10 to 12 days, and to do like a 70, 80 minute film, it would take 10, 12 days, 10 days at least, and we did it under that, and then we added some stuff too. So it's
nice.
We made it a lot of happen with a little, but it came out nice, great. I think everybody did a good job at their jobs.
What about crew-wise? How many people did you have on crew?
The most we had at one time probably was like 5.
Yeah.
And then some days we had just 2, probably 2 or 3. Yeah.
Okay, so pretty light.
Yeah, real light.
Real light
crews. But everybody did good. Choko, shout out to Andy and Kelly, AJ and Kelly, right?
Yeah, his name's Andy.
Yeah. They did. He brought them. I guess he worked with them before, and they came on and did a magnificent job on the scenes that they shot. One of my favorite scenes was the running scene at the park. You'll see like it looks real cinematic. They killed that. A lot of other great shots that they did. So we enjoyed. He worked with them before, but I definitely enjoyed working with them, and we definitely will be working with each other moving forward. So yeah. Yeah,
I definitely had to. AJ Kelly Productions is like good friends and team of mine that always filming most of my content. AJ, one of my closest friends and videographer, like he he's really good at seeing certain shots, and it's always comes out spectacular. So when Shannon said he wanted to do this movie, I was like, yeah, I got to get my boys to shoot, to be a part of this, because they definitely brought their
shout out to
tools.
AJ and Kelly. They did their thing for real.
So one of the questions, of course, is how big was your trailer, Choko? I mean, did you get?
I was in my car. I had my Chick-fil-A and my tea.
Yeah, but he was in there. Locked in.
I was in there. It's funny, like you said, I was in my car studying. After I figured out, as a comedian, I can improvise. I can always improvise and just wing it. But one of the star actors, Mariah, in the movie,
shout out to Mariah.
She's very talented. She's really about her work, so she's always studying her lines. She's like, Choko, you got to read your lines. I'm like, pish posh. I'll figure it out when I get there. And so there was one scene where there was pretty heavy lines, and when it got to the part, I was just like line. I was like, all right, you know what? It was wasting too much time, and I was like, never again will I be that person on set that doesn't know their lines. So that next day, I was like, I got on set like at 7 a.m. an hour earlier to read all my lines, make sure I can embody the character the way I could. That way, when my time came, I was like hitting the lines as I should. But like I said, it's a learning experience. Comedy versus drama or thriller is totally different. So I can't just improvise, You can't improvise of how you want to feel or express when you have other people in that energy in that circle. So you definitely have to become that character, study the script, and do your homework. Like, no games. Yeah.
So now, Shannon, for you, how many films have you directed so far?
Technically, that was the first feature. I did a lot of series. One that we did, Choko's actually in that one as well. It's called Be Someone, that stars Tisha Campbell. Y'all may know her as Gina from Martin. We have Drea Michelle, Khalil Kane from his character is he plays in Juice, famously known as the movie Juice. Jennifer Freeman, who was in Wife and Kids with Tisha Campbell. So I normally do television shows, but I wanted to give a feature a chance. So yeah, I had a fun time shooting my first feature. It'd be definitely many more to come. Geared to probably try to shoot 10 movies this year. So yeah.
So what was different for you shooting a film as opposed to shooting something a little more episodic?
See, so I like the episodic still better because I like the character. I like building the characters through a period of time. Whereas in a movie, you don't really get the same luxury to build the character because everything happens so fast. So I think that would be the biggest, is having to make the audience care about the people that they're supposed to care about faster, which is not always easy when you got to do it like in 80 minutes, right? And in a TV show, you can show more develop, you can show more backstory to allow the audience to feel something from one of the characters. But that probably was the biggest part. It's easier writing because obviously you do 8 episodes, 45 minutes. You're doing way more writing on episodics than movies. So that part was easy, but just to make it develop in time so that everything can unravel and unfold was probably the more difficult part.
What advice would you give to somebody who wants to start directing?
Just shoot, man. I think one of the biggest things, I think that he agreed as well, is if you are in your head, every time, and I think this goes from the worst filmmaker in the world to Denzel, the best filmmaker in the world. Every time you shoot something, you are going to, I don't care if you take Denzel movie he won an Emmy in, if you ask him if it's something he could do better, he can probably give you 10 things he would do better the next time. So you can't be stuck in trying to make it perfect because it's never going to be perfect. You're always going to see, if it's perfect, then I mean you don't have any growth left, right? Or if it's the best you can do, then there's no more growth. So I think that the biggest thing to do is shoot. Like right now with digital cameras, you could literally buy a camera and go get the shooting, right? And you figure it out, you learn. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest mistakes I made was wanting everything to look like a Showtime special. So I spent a lot of money trying to get that done. And time wasted waiting on that to happen, because obviously if you spend that much money, or you so many things that come into play of bringing those to fruition, when you can just pick up a camera and start shooting and you learn. So for people who just now started, shoot. You're gonna learn hands-on. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that you could do to figure out new things. But the biggest thing is to create content, and then the more content you create, the better you're gonna be. All right.
So, and Choko, for you, since you've been at this for what, 6 weeks now, 7 weeks? How long you been funny?
Yesterday. My advice is, like he was saying, people that know me, I'm very optimistic, and I'm all about just doing. Done is better than perfect. I have a lot of OCD friends that are perfectionists, so they try to focus on a project and they never finish because they're trying to perfect it. And sometimes you just have to, believe in yourself, finish it, complete it. Then you can always grow from like, oh, you know what? I can do this better and move on to the next project. That way you have content and you can always look back on the growth, versus staying on one thing. You're like, man, I want to perfect this, then you never get anything done. And that's how I live by. Like, just get it done, believe in your craft, grow from that, and just keep moving. There's going to be good days and bad days. There's some days we feel like we're on top of the world. There's some days we feel like we can't do enough, but you have to get out of that funk. You don't be discouraged and just keep moving. Don't compare yourself to anyone on the left side, on the right side. Just focus what's in front of you, and just keep moving.
Stay in your own lane.
Stay in your own lane and keep moving, and that's about it. Don't compare yourself to nobody. Your own goal. You're in competition with yourself. Just be the best version of yourself. Don't worry about anybody else, and just keep moving.
And I guess one last opportunity. Why should somebody go see this film?
It's a good film. I mean, if you want to see Choko, hey, I'm gonna make an NFT like the first Sears Road Choko did. We're just gonna take a picture and put that out there. But no, I think if you want to, I think in life, when everything is good, man or woman, right? Obviously, in this film, we're kind of targeting women who are comfortable in situations, but I think. What was the saying? Comfort is like cousin to death or something like that. Like, so I feel like when you're comfortable, then you don't want change to happen. So you don't look for change to happen either, right? So in this situation, she has a husband who provides for her, take care of her, and she is willing to ignore certain things that she probably should not be ignoring. And in this situation, obviously, it could be costly to her. So I think you can learn a lesson from that as well. Is obviously there's no amount of comfort that you should be able to turn blind eyes to certain things. I think that everything that happens in a relationship, nothing just happens. Like, you just didn't wake up and say, oh, you know what, he's a piece of shit. You probably saw signs, all right? Same thing with a girl, or vice versa. So I think that if you pay attention to certain signs, I think that you could avoid the heartbreak. I think that people don't break our heart, we break our own heart, right? Because we ignore certain things. So you at least learn that lesson. It'd be a good movie. It's not a lot of laughing, but it's definitely a great movie. It's a suspense thriller, so you definitely enjoy it. Yeah.
Social medias, how do people find you?
Y'all know how to find this one. Me, I'm finna get a plug in. I got a little bit of following, No, it's at the Trillium Shakespeare on Instagram. That's pretty. I don't really get on anything else. So yeah, Instagram at the Trillium Shakespeare. Yeah.
And then to follow me, it's Callmechoko everywhere, and that's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Fax, MSN Messenger. Yeah, everywhere. Callmechoko, Callmechoko, and just type in Choko, and you'll find it.